Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Fly Like an Eagle podcast. I'm here with my guys, James Scorza, Joe
Yeah,
Wolf from Passion App Sports Show every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Big show they have for tomorrow, but we got some talking to do. How you guys doing?
Great, man. So excited about upcoming season. I'm kind of like itching to get in on the pads and let's go.
Yeah, doing great,
Yeah.
Mitch. Glad to be here again, once again. Obviously, the summer kind of feels like it's taken forever for this team to get ready for football season, but man, we're just a few months away, man. And we're actually 3 months away from the actual season opener, so the countdown is officially on, my friends.
Till my birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude,
Extra
dude,
special, Philly special.
I was out to dinner with my friend last night, and I was like, dude, I really want to go to the first game. He's
Yeah.
like, Mitch, it's going to be expensive, right? You got the banner, Cowboys,
Yeah.
$500 a ticket. I'm like, dude, what is on that day? He's like, it's my birthday. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, then go. I'm like,
By the way, we have a promotion and a sponsor, GameTime.co on
Yeah.
Patterson App Sports Show, and so they're discounted tickets, and you can put like an alert on an event that
yeah,
if it like hits under a certain number, you get like a notification. I
Yeah.
swear to all that is holy. If I get that notification, you're getting a link, Mitch.
My man, nice. Send that over to me, bud. Too. Send that. We'll all go together. We'll celebrate Mitch's birthday in style with a bang, my friend.
Oh, let's
yeah.
get it. But first,
Yeah,
before we
man.
get into all the Eagles talk, the Madden cover came out.
Yeah.
And I got my controller right here. I'm ready for this game
Oh man, I can't
because
wait.
our guy, Saquon Barkley, is on the Madden cover. And it's the reverse hurdle. Now, James,
Oh.
remember the first episode that you and I did?
I
showed
did.
like a little picture of this, and it was a
Yep.
rumor.
Yep.
It is now official. So,
Official.
James, give me your ideas. Give me your thoughts on this.
26 on 26, man. Madden 26 and the number 26. So there's nothing better about it. I guess it's gonna be the year of Saquon for the Philadelphia Eagles because it's 2026. If the Eagles win another Super Bowl, it will be 2026. But you know what's funny, Mitch? I thought about this when it came out. I said to myself, they had to do the reverse. They had to do that reverse, like the one he did over like against the Jaguars in the season. I mean, that had to be the perfect print for the. I think Saquon's calling right now too, just to give us a lot of appreciation. Appreciate the call.
He
bud.
hears his name called. He wants to call my number. Stop calling me.
Hey,
You know what?
Hey, look,
You know what?
He wants to give you a good discount, my friend.
You know what's
Got the hook.
funny though?
I'm not trying. Look, we're trying to keep that on the DL, James. I got the hook.
I get that. I'm with you.
You know what's funny?
I'm just giving you a little bit of excitement for Madden because apparently everybody plays Madden this day and age. But no, all joking aside, though, this is actually really good to see. So I mean, everybody talks about the Madden curse, but I think that thing probably died after Gronkowski was the cover, and maybe it was Antonio Brown was another story for another time. But I like it. I like what they did for it. I think this is a perfect script to a perfect ending to a 2025 football season that got us another Super Bowl. And I think right now, I mean, they're going to just make their jump even more this year, let alone this Madden cover too, Mitch.
Yeah. But you guys want to hear a fun fact? I have not played Madden since 2014.
Ever? Wow.
Since 2014, I
Man.
haven't played.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
That probably was one of the best Madden games out there was Madden 15 because I'm
Yeah.
hooked on it. I mean, obviously I'm an old school head, but I can always customize Saquon in my Madden rosters and all that too. But no, that was a great game back in the day. I got to admit.
No,
I got to be
Yeah.
honest. Even me, despite me having lost my sight, even me, I've played the recent Madden.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad. It's got its glitches, it's got its issues, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me ask you too about the new Maddens and all that. Compared to the ones they had before, has it gotten better? You think will get better after like Saquon becomes the new cover for it for Madden, you think they'll move one step closer to being what it was like a long time ago?
No, unfortunately, okay, so me and my buddy have played Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I had time, we played Madden, God, since like the 90s.
Oh yeah.
So you got to kind of understand there were things that they incorporated as the graphics got better, as they got into like higher platforms, PlayStation to 2 to 3 to 4 and such and so on.
To 5.
So, right.
Yeah, right.
But it seems like me and my friend will even say this. They took away some fun things, the fun aspects to just put in stuff for like I don't know, that's just like nonsensical. Like there was one where you could do like a training each week that you can make your player better by doing like a 40.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you could run a 40 and your speed would go up and
Really?
you could do the bench press and all that. Plus they had like you can upgrade like now you can upgrade your stadium, but like it's limited what you can upgrade. Whereas before, back in the day, you could put like a team museum in, you
Oh
could put
wow.
like a new fireworks display in. I was like, me and my buddy were loved it. We were like, we're getting our museum the next year. And I'm like, all right, we got to put the
Yeah.
plaques and the trophies in there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it was so good because it can make your imagination kind of run free. Now it's a little
Cookie
more
cutter.
metered. It's a little more metered down, and
Mhm.
so I'm not like
Impressed.
It's not as impressed as I have been in the past.
Well, I'll piggyback what you say about that too, because the thing I took out of it too with Madden, I think it was Madden 15 was the last time I bought Madden, and it kind of reminded me like the television shows that you like the NFL on CBS kind of feel, or the NFL on Fox. They had the starting lineups right then and there, and I said to myself, we're gonna poke fun with this because it's kind of like you can do your inner like Jim Nance and say hello friends, I'm Jim Nance, or you can act like you're Kevin Harlan, and you can put the NFL on CBS theme in the background and act like it's a I poke fun with it for a little bit
That's
too.
what
But
there's a lot of people out there that do Twitch and do
yeah,
Madden games on
Yeah.
Twitch. Like they play the game first, they record it, then they dub over like their own commentary.
sure, yeah,
And dub over into the video. And
yeah.
I'm just like, wow, that's a
It's
little
really
personal.
cool, yeah. And it's funny. I do my own Merrill Reese, like kind of like do my own play-by-play stuff. But I'll tell you what, though, the one thing I love about the games in Madden, the crowd is like actually sound. I'm not even kidding you. There was this one time. You guys are gonna laugh about this. This was back. I think it was 2019. I had Carson Wentz take on Washington, and they're down 10-0, and he throws a pick, and the fans were starting to boo him. I swear to God, it sounded like just like it was at the link when I was at that Washington game in week 1, and they're actually booing them. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's like real, like they're legitimate, like real, like it's like real Eagles fans booing them.
Yeah, but for the
That was
cover,
great, man.
are you guys afraid of the Madden curse?
No,
Nah,
it's over.
I'm not
over.
either. I'm
It's
not
over.
either.
Because you know what? They're a bit like before there were like you could be and you should be like that. That was a thing, and now it's not so much. Like Patrick Mahomes broke that curse.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Lamar Jackson, like
Yep.
Brady.
I'm not as much concerned. But James brings up a really valid point I didn't even think of. I don't know if EA Sports really thought of it.
What?
That it's 26 on Madden 26. Like I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of genius.
26 on 26, my friend.
But the interesting thing to kind of note about this, guys,
Yeah.
is this a shot at ESPN? Because this was, or the NFL honors, because this was not the best play that they voted for. This wasn't voted the best play this past season. This went in 4th place. The one that Madden, the game that all the players go get, that play that's on the cover of Madden that will live in infamy. It went in 4th place at the NFL honors. I'm like, that's just embarrassing.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? When you said 4th place, it reminded me of the movie Semi-Pro. You know, with Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end they go fourth place. Fourth place. I'm like, yes, I love that movie.
Semi-Pro. That's a great movie.
It really is. Shout out to Will Ferrell. But let's get into the comments real quick, and then we can talk about Ronald Darby, who just announced his retirement last week. Joe Scorza comes in and goes, definitely looking into going to the home opener for this banner raising. Me too, man. Me too.
I hope so
gotta
too.
go.
I'm looking forward to it.
I gotta go. If not, we'll get a birthday dinner, and I get to watch the Eagles. So either way, I win. Either way, I win.
Yeah.
But, my guy Wesley comes in and chat. Flight Eagles Fly. That's a phenomenal cover. Hi, MK, James, and Joe. Shout out to you, Wesley.
What's up, Wes?
Shout out to you. Joe Scorza comes in and goes, I think this is the first Madden cover using an actual play that happened in real life.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, Joe.
No, I think it was another one. I can't remember, but I don't ever remember there was a time like Madden actually did like a play like that in them. I mean, there was a time when they have like Mahomes like throwing a football or maybe like a Donovan in 06, but yeah, that I think this might be the first time ever actually seeing that. That's a very good point by my dad on that part. And
then Wesley comes in again and goes, I remember that one Madden game that had free agent bidding in franchise mode. Isn't that in every game?
Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
You can turn that off. I know all about that. I'm a GM genius. I'm a GM genius in Madden. Like, don't get me started.
Well, this is like actually the first time probably going back to 2K5 that actually a team like that was the last of 20. 2K5 was TO obviously, but I think the year after that was like Donovan. I think after that I think Donovan had an injury or something, or the Eagles were not like successful. I'm not saying it's going to be the same happening here because I think the Eagles could be one step from being great once again. But I think the other thing too about it is that it was deserving to think that Saquon deserved this Madden cover after the season he had too. Gotta admit.
Yeah. Now, two things, Mitch. First off, me, you, and James, or whatever, we have to do a podcast or a show or something, a special that's just talking about Madden because we could go on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God, we can make that a special on Fly Like an Eagle, or we can actually go live on a Hardcore Play and Rewind, which that channel is made for video games and movies. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm
so that's number one. Number two, you got to imagine that Saquon's going to be a 99 overall, right?
Yeah,
he is.
He is. Okay. Yeah, he is. I was going to say, I think he is for sure.
Yeah, he got the necklace saying 99 and everything. He got that. Now, to my knowledge, that's the first offensive Eagles player to be 99 overall. I think. I don't think it was McNabb.
I don't think it was Donovan. I think it might have been T.O. maybe in 2004. Actually, no. I can't. No.
Not offensive player, but...
No, I don't think any Eagle was
ever 99. Player is Dawkins.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
Dawk.
What I was going to say.
Maybe Dawk or maybe... like I said, I doubt it's Donovan or I doubt it's T.O.
No, it's not Donovan.
Might be Dawk.
Madden hated Donovan. Like, even on the cover, like, Madden never, like, gave him the due respect. And you know what? Like, that guy never touched 90 overall, but should have probably been over 90 through the course of his career.
He should have been like a 94 and 95 at max once.
Yeah.
One year.
Yeah. I can't remember. And it's gotten better over the years, too. I'm sorry, Joe.
I'm finally getting Madden.
Nice.
Because of this cover. Because of this cover.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for this cover,
just get the cover. There you go, my
I would have just like put the game to the side. I got other games here, like WWE and all that stuff. I got that.
You know what I would do? This is just me, and everybody out there can take this for whatever it is. They can take the idea. It's fine. You take the disc, if it's the disc, right?
Yeah.
You take the disc out of the case. You put the disc in a sleeve so it's protected. You take the case and you go get that shit autographed by Saquon, and then you frame it. And
now you're talking, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the words of analyze this. You are good, my friend.
You know what you could do? You could just print out the picture of the cover and just say that's the cover. Frame it or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get
You're
it free.
gonna
There you
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
You got it free. So
Yeah.
technically, I already have it.
Yeah,
Technically.
exactly.
But yeah, so Joe Schools comes in and goes, Mitch is right. Saquon is the first Eagles offensive player with the 99 rating
Wow, that's crazy.
after
That is
1 year.
insane,
After 1 year. That is
man.
crazy.
Man, and
And
you know what else too? He's gonna jump out and become even better this year too. I admit.
just for intensive purposes, so in 2024, in Madden 24, he was an 86, Saquon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In Madden 25, he was a
I think it was
91.
92. Was it 92?
91 or 92, something like that.
Yeah, something like
And,
that.
and so I'm like, so for him to jump up to a 99, number
Mhm.
one, and I mean, like, here's the interesting thing. Jalen, we talked about last week about Jalen and his where his status is as far as quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Let's talk about in the pantheon of like running backs right now in the NFL. I mean, Saquon is one of the top one or two running backs in the league. You can
Mhm.
put Derrick Henry up there, sure, but like that's the thing is like it makes a difference what team you're with. When Saquon was with the Giants, he would have never been considered number one or two running back in the league. You
No,
change
probably
teams,
not.
you surround yourself with talent and you become better. You
Yep.
raise your level. So enough with the indictments of, this guy plays good because he's surrounded by so much talent. Like, you need to be surrounded by talent to be good.
Right. That's the whole point. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of it.
Be great from the greatness of others. That's what Nick Sirianni said.
Yeah.
And
Amen, brother.
So Ray Old comes in and just yells, "Let's go Birds."
Oh,
That's it.
birds.
Perfect. Love that. I love that. So next up, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Ronald Darby announced his retirement. If you guys didn't know, he was on the Super Bowl team back when we won the first one. So Joe, let's start off with you, man. What do you got to say about Ronald Darby and
You
him
know,
retiring? He's only 31.
I talked
Wow.
about this. I talked about, Saquon, and when you switch teams from a
Yeah.
bad team to a good team, you become better. And
Yes.
because you're surrounding yourself with good teammates and a good mentality, a good coaching. And Ronald Darby is kind of like a good example of that. Because you got to think he got drafted by Buffalo, and he was
Yep.
kind of in that like Siberia land in Buffalo. And we basically got him for nothing. And the fact that we brought a guy like him, and it was unfortunate that like he got hurt early in his Eagles tenure, but like the idea that he brought so much, I guess, experience or skill to that secondary. Look,
Yep.
this is a guy that I can understand may have had one too many injuries, and that could be the reason why he's retiring.
Yeah.
That's probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
The other part is probably people don't think it's hard. The market is difficult for a 31-year-old cornerback.
Yeah.
As much as we think he's still got some left in the tank, it's a difficult market out there.
Yeah. Especially how the wide receivers are becoming more athletic year by year by year by year. So the game is just getting faster.
Yeah,
And
when you
so-
got Xavier Worthy and McMillan that was just drafted this year, and Tyreek Hill, like Ronald
Yeah.
Darby's looking at these guys like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like a Devontae Smith and maybe like an AJ
Mhm.
Brown too. The list goes on and on about that too. Yeah, it's interesting because like you think about his career with the Eagles, and it was actually a very good career for them. And then that 2017 year, and mind you too, I think it was the first game of the season. He actually got injured in that game against
Yep.
Washington, and I think he like fractured his ankle, and everybody was like worried about like, oh shit, like I mean, we just spent his hard-earned money to get this cornerback, and he's gonna miss some time. I mean, he did come back early on and later on in the season, but at first we were thinking like, oh, like this is the typical snake bit Eagles that get this guy, this top-notch cornerback in the trade, and then they see him go down on week 1. It's kind of like, I mean, you know the story about Bryce Pop hitting Randall Cunningham in 1991. Obviously, I wasn't born yet, but it was like in that same kind of helm where like we're on the edge of our seat, like like we won the game, but at what cost? And it's the same kind of scenario that happened with Carson Wentz early on. I mean, later on in the season, but the injury bug was actually to the beginning of those so many injuries that happened with the linebackers, with your kicker. There was like so many injuries, and they still won that Super Bowl. It was still pretty damn amazing to think about, too. Gotta admit.
Yeah. Hey, I just remember him playing. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But, hey, he's the Super Bowl champion. That's all we can ask of him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think he's gonna do next? Do you guys think? I don't see him going to the broadcasting route. I don't see that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he does next. Maybe he becomes a coach somewhere, a secondary coach or whatever. Joe, what do you think he does?
I could see that. I could see him going into the coaching and being a coordinator or a specialist or an advisor or something like that. Maybe he goes to the college route like Deshaun did and Vic did. Kind of go that route and like be able to like go there and get his feet wet in that area. Look, he's got a skill set and knowledge of a skill set that is useful.
Mm-hmm.
And so for many colleges, they would give their left arm to have that guy. Look, right. I'm not speaking for them, but damn it, I'm an alumni. You want to come and be a defensive back coordinator for the Temple Owls? You come, Ronald Darby. We've got open up position.
Yeah, I'll be good with that.
Yeah, I think everyone will be good at that. I'm excited to see what he does next. And also, I don't know if you guys caught the Vic Fangio press conference. Did you guys catch it? No?
I did. I heard snippets of it. I guess you're going to ask us the C.J. Gardner-Johnson saga.
I'm not even talking about that, man.
Are you talking about the Jalen Carter?
No.
Okay, so
I'm not even talking about the Jalen Carter or Gardner-Johnson, man.
So there was a golf outing, and I brought this up to you, James. Brian Dawkins was having a charity golf outing.
Gotcha.
And Javon Kearse and Jeremiah Trotter both talked about Jalen Carter. Well, Javon Kearse said that boy is going to be special. And Jeremiah Trotter basically said, and now let's remember, Jeremiah Trotter's son, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., plays for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremiah Trotter Sr. has knowledge of what's going on in that building. And he basically said on WIP this past week at the Brian Dawkins charity golf outing that Jalen Carter hasn't even really learned how to play defensive tackle yet. So during the Vic Fangio press conference, someone brought it up. And you could have sworn like Vic Fangio had like a chicken wing because he was like coughing up and hacking up a storm because he was like, really? Like, okay, like we're going to keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
Because that may be true that Jalen Carter may not know what it is to play defensive tackle. Like he's just playing off of pure athleticism right now, pure skill. Okay, great. But if you're telling me, and James, I'm going to steal a line from you.
Sure.
If you're trying to tell me this guy's going to get better, like much better, then we're having fun, but it's about to get funner.
Yeah. Yeah, no question, Joe. I mean, I find that interesting to hear somebody say that, especially what kind of a career he had to this point. I mean, it's not like, I mean, I think he got him confused with maybe Jordan Davis, because I think Jordan Davis is having I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, I love Jordan Davis. I thought he was a good pick when the Eagles got him. I mean, but Jalen Carter's only in his third year. It's not like he's in his fifth year. I mean, we got to give the guy more time to develop a little bit. I mean, nobody's going to turn into Aaron Donald on day one. I mean, that I'm sorry to say, but pardon my French, but that's bullshit.
Could you imagine if we got TJ Watt?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. We got to trade Jalen Carter for T.J. Watt now.
Well, I'll trade Jordan Davis and like a second round pick for TJ
Yeah,
with control. So yeah, I mean I'm good with that. But
yeah.
no, here's my thing is with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Like Jordan Davis, he actually had a quote this past week that has been kind of ringing a
Talked about.
little bit in my head, which
Mhm.
is he wants to now take his workouts seriously now that he got his 5th-year option.
Right.
Yo, dude, you've been on this team for 3 years. You needed to be doing that from day one.
Oh
You
wow.
want to start getting your stuff together. Now, look, I'm a big
Oh
Jordan
jeez.
Davis fan. I
Oh
am.
Jesus.
I am. But I want this guy to come in and be ready. I want him to be like chomping at the bit. And so if he's not, I would be the first. I'll probably be the first person in line to say trade his ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I,
I
I've
know he's
seen.
a bulldog, James.
I
I
know
know.
that too. I know that too. I was gonna wear my
Can we
Georgia
trade him
T-shirt.
for a Michigan guy, please? Can we get traded for a Michigan guy?
Who's a good
Ah, the hell
Michigan
with
guy
that.
out there that?
We're gonna go with Notre Dame, Mitch. We're gonna go to the Fighting
I mean, I
Irish.
want a teammate from Michigan here. I want a teammate from Michigan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, man. But it kind of
Hardball's
surprises
trying
me a
to.
little. What's that?
Hardball's trying to take all your Michigan guys.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Yeah, and then after he cheated,
Mm.
Sad but true. That's
he
true.
did. And then Ray Old says, I keep Jordan Davis. He also said up here that he saw that report about Jordan Davis and Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, that kind of annoys me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a veteran at that position to help to his development or bring back Fletcher Cox as a training coach. I'm fine with that. I'm more than great to have Fletcher Cox back. James, would you like that to have Fletcher Cox back in a
Yeah,
coaching
for sure.
system?
For sure, man. I would be okay with that. I mean, if it gets Jordan Davis to get him away from trying to get him back to trying to get him to hopefully the player that we wanted to come out in the draft and also what he wanted to be in the draft. I mean, look, Fletcher Cox can help him try to. I mean, that's probably what he needs to do. Is probably needs to get like a nutrition coach or probably a training coach like a Fletcher Cox to help just to help him get him back and to help him to stay in shape.
Joe, how about you? Would you like Fletcher Cox back as like part of the coaching staff?
I'm not
No?
a big fan. I'm not a big fan of it only
Mhm.
because like Fletcher doesn't come across to me like a guy like Dawkins does. He
Right.
doesn't command the room. He just like Fletch was good at I'm gonna let my actions do the talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's different. Like that's hard to do as a coach. If I believe it or not, like I would even look at like guys that I don't know, like a guy like Dominican Sue that
Okay.
could come in and show these guys how to have a longevity at that
Yeah.
position. Because you got to keep in mind, Sue like played 10 or 11 years. Now, granted, he's still out there in the ether, but I don't know if he's been picked up or not. But like my feeling is this 10 or 11 years at defensive tackle. I mean, Cox played longer, I believe, but that's a long time. I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of Cox in that same way, in that perspective of like a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I would agree that he needs to have a nutritionist.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement
For
that
sure.
that dude needs to hire a cook, like a full-time cook.
Full on
You
chef.
You got the money, dude. Like pay a private chef 200 grand and be done with it.
Yeah.
So, really quick, Ray Old comes in and goes, he commended the line though, and then he kept Brandon Graham for doing too much trash talking. Welcome, Jose, and thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate
And
it, buddy.
make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. I'm about to put in the link right now. This is where you can catch the Patterson Ave Sports Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. So, James, really quick,
Sure.
what you got going on for your show tomorrow?
Well, we got a jam-packed show. It's kind of like in the words of the great Seinfeld quote, we call it "Worlds Are Colliding" because we got a great jam-packed show coming tomorrow. We have our good friend, our boss man, Scott Churston from Stream Punk Entertainment is going to be joining us here tomorrow to talk about Philadelphia and New York rivalries for this upcoming matchup this tomorrow. We'll probably talk some Saquon becoming the Madden cover, and probably a little critiquing of his Giants, and probably a little bit critiquing of his Knicks losing in the second, and then losing all the other stuff, and also the Villanova or the New York Wildcats or whatever they're called nowadays. But no, we got a jam-packed show tomorrow, so please tune in at 9 a.m. on Stream Punk Entertainment and Hardcore Sports Network. It's going to be a jam-packed show, so please tune in any chance you get.
Yep. Please do. And also, Joe Scorza comes in and goes, BG, Dawkins, and Connor Barwin are actually working with the young guys in camp this year. I didn't even know about Connor Barwin. That's new to me.
Well, Barwin's been a part of the organization for a while.
Yeah.
He's been a part. BG's got, this is the interesting thing. So BG announced his retirement, and then Howie's like, no, you're not leaving. Come here. We'll figure it out. I'm going to give you a designated position. You're not leaving. You're not going anywhere. We're just going to make sure that you can still have a voice in this locker room. And then Brian Dawkins. I've heard good things about what he's doing with the safeties, especially Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown and him are he's taking all the secondary guys and taking them on a trip and putting him through his own boot camp. And so I don't know what the Brian Dawkins boot camp looks like, but I can only imagine, considering I know the type of player he was, what that kind of Brian Dawkins boot camp might look like.
Right. And I'm actually glad you brought up Sidney Brown, because one of the big things that Vic Fangio brought up in his press conference was about Sidney Brown and Andrew Makuba. So if you guys didn't know, Andrew Makuba got drafted we drafted him this year to compete in that safety position. So does Sidney Brown's experience give him a leg up on Makuba starting it? So we're going to go with James on this one. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Sidney Brown and Andrew Makuba bring in that preseason coming up. And I think the other thing I'm really happy to see, too, is that even though that there is a battle between these two guys, I mean, obviously they're not saying kind of an I'm the captain now, basically without saying it. But I think the other thing that really makes it fun to see is that it's going to be a battle. I think it might be a good thing to look forward to in preseason, what these two will look like for that safety position. I think both players are really good. I thought Sidney Brown was a very good pick in that 2023 draft. And Makuba is a really good player, too. So I'll be anxious to see what he has in store for this upcoming season, along with the other two we brought up in Makuba and Sidney Brown. It's going to be fun to see, especially.
Yep. Joe, what about you, man? What do you think about the Sidney Brown and Makuba competition?
I think it's an open competition. I think that position is completely open. I think Sidney Brown gets no leg up, gets none. Because Vic is playing this, and he's playing this with CB2, with Killy Ringo and Adoree Jackson. He's made it clear, and I told you guys a couple weeks ago, this is why I'm kind of itching for even preseason football, because I want to see these position battles, because these kids are going to go to war in order to be the starter. So it's going to be fun to see how that looks, because to be quite honest, in the last, 4 or 5 years of the Philadelphia Eagles, there's not been a lot of position battles in preseason. This is going to be a great year to have that. You're going to have that at the safety. You're going to have that at CB2. You're going to have that at the edge. you're going to even have that at D tackle, I believe. Like, if Jordan Davis doesn't want to take care of himself, we have a guy named Trey Robinson who would be more than happy to take that position away from you. So do not sleep on what is behind you. That's why I think Sidney Brown needs to not just think, oh, well, I got this locked, sealed, and delivered. No, you do not, sir. You need to work just as hard, if not harder. That's why I think, whatever the Brian Dawkins camp looks like, I think Brian Dawkins is going to go back to Vic Fangio and say, this is your starting safety. This is the guy you should put your chips in on. And then Vic's going to take his counsel and he's going to wait to see him in preseason, and he's going to go from there. And look, there's nothing wrong with having some depth on your roster. I mean, these guys, neither of these guys are going to not make the roster. So it's good that both will, but it's going to be a question mark of, Sidney Brown needs to take a big step forward. He's been kind of reckless as much of a safety as he's been. Like, there's a reason why they nickname him Crash, because he just hits people, but he doesn't tackle all the time. He doesn't play zone. He doesn't cover the run. Like, there's a difference that if you're going to become the starting safety for this team, you need to enhance your skill set to being more than just, I'm going to try and be a torpedo at you.
Right.
And Ray Old still has a question on Sidney Brown. He comes in and goes, I still have a question mark on Sidney Brown. And he also goes, Sidney Brown is great on special teams. And Joe Scorza says, James, you want to read this comment?
Sure, yeah. Remember, too, all these guys have a full year under in Vic's system, so we're not starting from scratch either. Yep.
That's true.
That is true.
For once, we may be having a new coordinator and a bit of a turnover on the offense, but as far as the defense, it's the same coordinator. So for a change, this means some continuity in that defense. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that continuity can bring as far as progression of skill.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, and also let me bring this back up here. Vic Fangio brings up Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt that are filling the void for everyone that we let go so Brandon Graham, Sweat, and all those guys. So, how do you guys feel about Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt? Joe, let's start off with you.
Well, I think Jalen Hunt, from what I've heard, Jalen Hunt is about put on 15 pounds of muscle in a short amount of time. This is a guy who's hungry for that position, for that moment. He got that moment kind of in the Super Bowl, so you got to think, you give a guy like that, that moment, they're starving to get back there. They're starving to reclaim it. And so I honestly think Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith will be your starting two defensive ends.
Over Ojulari?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
James, how do you feel about this, man?
Well, I'll tell you what, I loved what Nolan Smith said either yesterday or the day before about how he's gotten better every single. I mean, I think he's gotten better. Like, as of last year, he was like a good replacement when Brandon Graham suffered the rotator cuff that he did, and I think he came in and actually did a real good job. I thought everybody was a little skeptical about Nolan Smith at first, but I said to myself, you got to give the guy time. You got to give the kid time. I mean, obviously he's only in his third year now. But once he is competitive, and also once he's legitimately, this is his job to lose now. I think it'll be one step closer. I think for sure, Ojulari is going to be something to look forward to seeing. Like even Joey brought up, I'm not crazy about OJ. I think OJ might be. I mean, he'll be good, but I don't know if in that same capability as we brought up with either Jalen Hunt or even Nolan Smith. But I think that the one thing I'm going to be looking forward to seeing is that how much more of a jump Nolan Smith will bring in year 3 than he did like he did in year 2 as well.
Yeah. The only thing I'm gonna miss is Brandon Graham's leadership. That's the biggest thing I'm gonna miss on the field. And I was the guy that was like, can we not bring Brandon Graham back because I thought he was just getting old. We need young guys to develop and all that. He proved me wrong. He shut my
he
mouth.
put me wrong too.
So
I mean,
I'm like, we're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss Brandon Graham's leadership.
The other thing too is like, and we can close it out with this with the Nolan Smith thing is that you had to give him time to develop. Obviously, there was a lot of players like, oh, he hasn't played that very much still. But then everybody sees him play thinking, oh, I didn't see that coming. But thinking, yeah, you have to give the guy time to develop a little bit. I mean, he's only in year 3, not year 10.
Yeah. Right.
And
Not
year
5. I mean, not in year 5. I mean, not in the same shoes as Jordan Davis. But
right.
Carry on.
Keep something in mind. The idea that Nolan Smith is rated the 3rd fastest defensive end in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's coming in with a lot more experience. Both him and Jalen Hunt are going to be trying to put more muscle on to get stronger. The idea that, you talked about the leadership.
Yeah.
It was something that Brandon Graham had said in an interview a couple months ago with the NFL Network. And he said, I would not leave if I didn't think that there was a leader in that locker room already ready to step up. And I'm going to take something out of James's playbook because I'm not the Bulldog fan. He is.
Right.
I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah. Nolan Smith was one of the captains of that Bulldogs defense.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So the guys like Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, N'Kobe Dean, Keely Ringo, they already listened to Nolan. Yeah. That's one of the reasons how we went to get Nolan Smith. Because other people were saying, bring him on and you will see a leader. N'Kobe Dean was the guy that's sitting there saying, he's the guy. Like, he's the leader. He's the voice. Like, he's the outward voice. Now, look, is the one thing I will miss about Brandon Graham is trash talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to hear who the next dude is that's going to trash talk the opposing team. Because I love Fletch, but, like, I like Brandon running his mouth. Like, I like that.
You think Jahad Campbell will be like a trash talker? Since I was like reading that thing about what Jahad Campbell, and I just thought about it. Thinking,
I want Jalen Carter to be the trash talker.
I could see Jalen Carter. I could see Jalen Hunt. I could see. I could actually see.
I could actually see Ojulari.
Ojulari,
I can see a lot of these guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I actually know. I could see. I'm not even kidding. I can actually see Nolan Smith be a little bit of a trash talker too.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. James, would you like to read Ray Old's comment?
Sure. Brandon Graham can never be replaced in the locker room, on and off the field. We all would. We all would. We all would. Can you bring that up again, Mitch? Sorry.
Yep. Here you go.
Yeah, we all would want the Eagles to hire him, I guess, as a coach too. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Brandon Graham. I miss my Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah.
Look, I've said this before, and I'll say it again this time.
Yeah.
When we lost Jason Kelce, we said no one can replace Jason Kelce. Now, I'm not saying Cam Jurgens did, but we didn't drop off. That position did not drop off. Yeah. Brandon Graham is another one of those the core 4, and he cannot be replaced.
Yes, exactly.
But we can try to stay the course. We can keep the momentum going. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, next up, James brought it up a little bit, is that Jahad Campbell. So they're talking, Vic Fangio was bringing up where is he going to play on the field, but they're trying him out. And right now he's working on an inside linebacker because there's a lot more to learn there. So that where we'll start him. He won't hit the practice field until sometime in August, so we're doing all we can. He's doing all he can in the meetings. We're doing all we can with him on the field. I take him to the side and do an individual drill with him that's suited to what he can do right now. So he's working good and trying to pick it up. So, Joe, how do you feel about Campbell? And being a pass rusher, Fangio had the following exchange with a reporter. And then, yeah. How do you feel about Jahad Campbell?
I think Jahad Campbell is going to be the steal of the draft. I think that you're going to see this guy because much like Jalen Carter, much like Nolan Smith, much like, even Nakobe Dean, the Eagles took this guy when everybody passed over this guy. And they basically said, no, we think you have the intangibles we want. And at 31, we took him. That means 30 other teams said, nah, we're good. And so let me put it this way. Whether it's inside, he's right. There's more to learn about inside from a guy who never played even close to pro. I played outside linebacker in high school. So I played weak side outside. So that's like even dumber down of a linebacker position.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're the inside man, you got to understand certain signals, not just from your defensive lineman, but from the offensive lineman and what you think is going to happen. Like watching the eyes of not just the quarterback, but the running back. Because they're going to give you're the first line in how your defense is going to play that play out. So that's why Zach Bond was so integral to what our Super Bowl, because he was able to communicate things very quickly before the play was snapped. Nakobe Dean was getting there before he got hurt. And I think putting Jahad Campbell in the most difficult position he can learn first will make him better, even if you move him out to the outside. Because when you move him out to the outside, or whether it's outside linebacker or edge, everything else is going to seem easier. It's like learning calculus first and then learning arithmetic.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. That's actually a good scenario.
It really is. It really is. Now, we got to talk about one of the most popular players on the Eagles defensive side, and that is, what is up, Cool Cat Connor? You guys tune in tomorrow or Monday for Cool Cat Mitch on the Hardcore Sports Network at 3 p.m. Shout out to you, bro. And Ray Old said Jahad will be an instant all-pro, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
Ceiling's up high. High ceiling for him.
Yep, high ceiling for sure.
Let's talk about Cooper DeJean and his role in the base defense, because Vic Fangio said we like to keep him in the nickel and then in our back package. Pause. We'll find a spot for him either at a corner or safety. So, James, Cooper DeJean, he was drafted more because he was like a corner. You like him at safety too? Because there's going to be a lot of competition in a corner spot.
Well, it's a very good question. It's a good thing to have, especially if you have a good secondary like you do with Keely Ringo, and also what you got to do with either Quinn. I was going to just trouble this.
It's Mitch. It's Mitch.
You're right. Hello.
It's Quinion Mitchell. There you go.
Oh my God, Jesus. I can't believe I flubbed that. Oh my God.
It's
no,
all
but
good,
I'm joking aside though. But with Mitchell and also with Coop and also with Keely Ringo.
I was waiting for Mitch to tear your head off, not me.
You can cut my mic off if you want to, Mitch.
No, you're good. You're good. I was waiting for Joe to say something.
I was like, why am I saying? Why can I get this guy's name right?
That guy that Mitch got. The one that MK keeps bringing up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, finish out, Chase.
No, we're good. This is why we have so much fun here. No, but with Coop, obviously, it will be. I mean, it will be a good thing to have, obviously, to see what he does in the safety position, depending on Mitchell or Kiwi.
You can't even say it
I
now.
can't even say it now. Oh my god, I'm in
This
tears over
goes
here.
back to when I couldn't say Mitchkovsky, and I kept
Mitchkov.
calling him Mitchkov, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good with that. Keep calling me Mitchkov. I'm good with that." Yeah, I mean, I'm getting better at that, but damn it,
I didn't win Rookie of the Year.
That's a
Anyhow.
violation, man. That's a real
So-
violation.
my feelings about Coop.
Not
is
not
this.
not you. I'm talking about the rookie of the year thing.
I
but-
know what you mean. I know what
I
you
know,
meant.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
My feelings on Cooper is this.
Yeah.
This is a guy who we basically have as a defensive Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the thing that first comes to mind for me is I don't recall in recent history any one player that was this versatile to be able to play nickel very well, to be able to play safety very well. And okay, you want to move him to CB2 just to give him a shot? Yeah, he might be okay. Like that kind of versatility. I mean, Vic Fangio's like, oh, don't worry, Coop's not leaving the field. We're not worried about that. We'll find a spot for Coop. He's not leaving the field. He's not leaving the field. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
And then Joe Scorza comes in and goes, Coop will be in the field as much as possible, regardless of position. That's a Vic's plan. He's a punt returner too, so
Yeah.
keep him out there, man. Keep
Let me
him out
ask
there.
you about this too. Real quickly about the special teams too. I know the kickoff rule. I know it's not going to be here for long or anything like that. But who do you think? I mean, this is probably an asinine question. Bear with me on this. But who will be the kick returner for this Eagles team? It's still Shipley though, right? It's not Shipley and Coop, right? Or is it?
Actually, let me look up the depth chart. Let me see who they got right now.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a little far fetched and a rock at a hard place, but I'm just kind of curious. Like whoever was their kick returner, it just dawned on me.
I almost kind of can't. Okay, so Shipley, I could see.
I think it's Shipley.
I could see.
According to this, it's Avery Williams.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hey.
According to this, it's
I
Avery
was like,
Williams.
Sean Avery.
Avery Williams and Will Shipley. And for punt return, you got also Avery Williams and Cooper DeJean. So, I gotta look up who this Avery Williams guy is now.
Well, we all know who Cooper. We all know Cooper's going to be the punt returner, and I think that's going to be Shipley going to be returning the punts, unless Avery Williams turns into Chris Polk for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's not go that far.
I know. That's a little far fetched. I'm with you.
But here's my thing. So I'm gonna butcher his name because I'm gonna say the wrong name. Aeneas.
Oh, yeah, Smith. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's
So,
right. Well, we don't have Paris Campbell anymore. We don't have Paris Campbell. That's what I'm saying. No, but continue, Joe.
I could see him, Aeneas Smith. I could see him doing it.
Yeah, I could see
giving him a shot. Look,
AJ Dillon, maybe AJ Dillon.
No, not. He's a power guy. He's not gonna run.
Oh yeah, right. What am I talking? I'm still thinking of Chris friggin' Polk.
Here's the thing. I think we talked about the position battles to watch for in preseason. That's another thing to watch for in preseason.
Yeah.
Is they're going to run out a lot of different looks on punt returns and kick returns.
Yeah.
Just to see who shines out. Because remember,
Definitely.
we don't have Britton Covey anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Where did he go, actually? Was it the Rams?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he went to the Rams.
Who? I'm sorry.
Britton
Brady Covey.
Yeah.
I think he went to the Rams. Yeah, I think he went. I think he's with Puka Nacua now.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. I was not a big fan of Britton Covey. I wasn't. Like,
I love Merrill, but I love Merrill, but he was. I guess he was. I mean, it's just that he was wrong about him, though. But he had a good talent. He could have had a good talent here, but it's just the difference was the injury bug killed him.
I still felt like the guy that they should have gave more of a chance to was the receiver that they ended up letting go. That was like ridiculously fast. He was from like Ohio State or something like that. And we got
Oh
him like
yeah,
undrafted.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why don't we play this? Like he played punt return once and almost ran it back. I'm like, why aren't we playing this guy more? And like, no, we have faith in Britton Covey. I'm like, why? Why? So
Hot take. Britton Covey's overrated.
it's not a hot take.
It's
True.
not. It's not. No, you're not
If
wrong.
it's-
You
if
ain't
it's
lying, man.
true- If it's
I feel like
truth,
it's
it
a
ain't
hot
hot.
take.
That thing's been cold for a while. Like,
Yeah. Instead
All right,
of Covey, it was a koozie.
I'll take a hot cake then. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's not a hot take. I'll take a hot cake.
Instead
I'll
of
take a
a
cake.
Covey, it was a koozie.
oh. Wow. So this is where
That
we
was
go
good.
off the
That
rails,
was good.
folks.
I'm sorry.
This is where we go off the rails, folks.
Yeah, speaking of that, Ray Old just liked and subscribed on the PA channel.
Appreciate you, Ray.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate. Vic doesn't want. Yeah, Vic doesn't want Coop to return punch. Well, I don't think that's his choice.
Well,
Well, I mean, he's good at it, though. He's good at it.
He's better than Britton Covey.
I
Yeah,
tend
there
to
you go.
agree. I tend to agree with Ray though, because Coop is too valuable to put as a punt returner. I think that's why I'm saying Aeneas Smith, because like for me, if Aeneas Smith goes down, I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. Like the team's okay. If Coop goes down because of a freak injury on a punt return and someone tries to take out his legs,
That's true.
then I'm not going to be okay with that.
Well, didn't that happen last year when Cooper DeJean? I mean, didn't Cooper DeJean miss some time, or was it Covey that missed?
It was
some time?
Covey. It
Oh,
was
was
Covey
Covey.
got
Okay, I
undercut.
thought so. I thought so.
That's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, I'll miss Britton Covey. I'm like, all right, but like,
Oh yeah, you're right. It was
Coop-
Covey. I'm keep on thinking, wait, Cooper DeJean
But-
never got hurt last year.
but
What am I talking
Coop-
about?
but Coop getting hurt means more. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like
Yeah.
we don't have another nickel, really, a certified nickel cornerback to replace Cooper. So Coop's got to stay away from punt return as much. Look, let Will Shipley do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, Shipley could be a punt returner.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? He's already on special teams. He's already as the kick returner. You can put him as a punt returner.
Mhm.
You can also, I mean, there was another player. I mean, you could put out. I mean, no, that was Gainwell. My bad. Gainwell went to Pittsburgh. I don't know why I thought Gainwell was still here, but it's gonna be it's gonna be a interesting battle in special teams for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's going to conclude for Fly Like an Eagle podcast. But my favorite part, 3 words or less. So 3 words or less about Vic Fangio.
Oh,
So let's come up with 3 words or less about Vic Fangio. So if you got one, go for it. Because for me, I got 2 words. Defensive mastermind. 2 words.
dominant defense.
That's a good one. I think I know where Joe is going. Destroy
Legend-
Dallas.
The Godfather.
Legendary defensive mastermind.
Ooh. there we go.
Okay. I
Giddy
thought
up.
you were going to go with Destroy Dallas.
No, because they're going to destroy. Look, if you think that Dallas has got a prayer this season, you are out of your mind.
Well, let me ask you about that too with Dallas before we get out of here. Did you guys see that thing on Facebook yesterday?
Yeah.
Someone had the Cowboys
Yeah.
at 10-7 this season.
Yeah.
There is no way in snowball's chance in hell that they're winning 10 games.
I saw another one that put them at 12 wins. I was like, with what? What? Huh? Who are they playing? What?
I mean, come on.
I'm like,
Get the hell out of here with that
I'm
BS,
like,
man.
okay, hold on. They get 12 wins. Did the other team
What
not
do you
show
see
up?
12 wins? I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm like, I look. That
Oh my
team
God.
is going to be. They're going to have 12 losses.
They might have like the 10,000 losses as the Phillies had back in 07. they could actually extend that. They could probably have 10,000 losses by now.
So speaking of Phillies,
It's
real
been
quick.
30 years. I mean, come on, man. You could have lost 10,000. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Speaking of the Phillies, no Bryce Harper tonight.
She's at the vet. No Harper
Nope.
tonight?
No Harper tonight. I just got that
Oh,
alert.
wonderful. That ruins my night.
I don't even watch baseball, and that ruined my day.
Well, I mean, Scott can break our balls about the Phillies cluster shit show tomorrow.
Well,
Anyway,
it's the
big ol'
Keystone
cluster
Clash. It's the Keystone Clash once again, and so we'll see how
Is
that goes
Skeens
out.
pitching this weekend, or did he already pitch already?
I think he already pitched. I think.
I think
But-
he did too. I think.
But
But then
here-
again, you never know.
Here's the thing. So, with the Eagles, this is why we cherish and look forward to the preseason, because the rest of the teams in this city still are figuring out the code.
Right. Right. I mean,
Alright.
I'll tell you right now. The preseason, even though I don't like, I mean, I'm like a preseason guy. I always liked it, but this time of year actually might be more intriguing. Yeah,
Yep.
schedule loss tonight. Like my dad said, yeah, definitely a schedule loss for the Phillies tonight.
All right.
Thanks, Doc
So,
Rivers.
On the way out, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. And according to
Oh, he does
Joe
go
in the
Sunday.
chat here, Park Scenes goes Sunday.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Oh, cool. Wonderful. Now we gotta deal with him again. Add more salt to the room.
I'm kind
Okay,
of
we
jealous
better
of
leave before James has an aneurysm.
No. I'll tell you tomorrow how I feel about it. Actually, I kind of feel fine with it, but I just see there's something. I'll
Alright.
be fine again. Wrap it
On
up, buddy.
that note, guys, we'll catch you all later. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Hey, at least the Phillies are better than the Sixers.
True.
That ain't saying much.
Yeah, we're out, guys. Have a good one.
Later. Go Birds!
Go Birds.